Hello everyone, welcome to World Cricket Chat. We are actually outside the Oval. England versus Bangladesh. The first game has just gotten over and I've got Suneer out here to discuss the first game that's happened. So in fact, it was a pretty facile win for England. They chased down 305 runs that Bangladesh had scored with 8 wickets in hand and in fact 16 balls to spare. You'd said something really similar, that this probably was going to be an easy one for England, and they lived up to that.
Well, they were expected to win. They'd gone in with that favourites billing for the tournament, not only in this match, and we had seen that Bangladesh was struggling. And although Bangladesh did bat reasonably better than what they had against India, it was still not up to the scratch. It looked like a very 340, 350 kind of a pitch, and they were restricted to 305. And once that happened, I think it was always going to be England who were going to be running away with the game, and that's what happened. Facile win, as you said, 2 wickets lost, and with plenty to spare, and that net run rate issue might come in handy later on.
In fact, I was just thinking this. Teams tend to score 300 and then they get chased down really easily. What is a good score nowadays?
That is $1 million question, and that was asked of a lot of players at the end of this match. Alex Hales was asked this question. Tamim Iqbal was asked this question. He scored 100, obviously, and there were questions that whether 300 is enough. And he said that if the pitches are the way they are, probably even 400 is not enough if you don't bowl well. And he was not saying that Bangladesh did not bowl well, but probably there was a reference to the fact that they had gone in with a bowler shot in all senses. They tried to buffer up their batting, bolster their batting after the kind of performance that they had dished out in that warm-up game against India. I think there was a negative mindset that Bangladesh went in with because they thought that their batting was lacking in these conditions. The conditions proved to be very easy, very, very nice for batting, and they should have probably, with that extra batsman, should have scored even 350. Mind you, even with the 350, given the batting that England have, they probably might have even gone and scored the 350 runs, but the pressure would have been a lot more on England than it was in this game.
So it sounds like Bangladesh had some self-inflicted issues there. Just mere selection of their team has got them into trouble, I guess.
Well, you could say that there were selection issues there. Probably born out of what India did to them, inflicted a rather pungent loss in that previous match.
The English need to thank the Indians here.
Probably not at this stage. Probably at the end of the tournament they would. Probably if they get into a situation where it's a three-way tie in the group stages and the net run rate is what helps them through, they would probably thank India for this facile win. But jokes aside, I think it was that selection to go in with an extra batsman, not play an extra spinner probably on that pitch, although the pitch was not really conducive to spin bowling either. That kind of laid the foundation for Bangladesh to be forced into probably scoring a 350. Had they had that extra bowler, probably a 330 score might have been all right. But it comes back to the batting, because I thought Tamim Iqbal, despite that century, he slowed down while he was getting there in the last 24 balls. I think he took 24 balls to get to the last 16 runs before that century. And when you do that, it does become difficult, especially when you go on to lose 2 wickets in 2 balls, which is what happened at the end. They scored just 96 runs in the last 12 overs, or 95 runs in the last 12 overs. Batting at 8 runs an over with 8 wickets in hand on that kind of a pitch was not really criminal, but bad enough to lose the match.
Definitely, considering they built a really good platform for themselves, and that little drop catch in the beginning definitely helped them. I thought maybe the IPL issues have transferred onto the Champions Trophy there. But now let's move on to tomorrow. Tomorrow is Australia versus New Zealand. Australia favourites?
I would think so. Australia favourites, despite all the problems that their players have been facing. The good thing for them is that the players are not directly involved in their issues with the cricket board. It's the Cricketers Association, the Australian Cricketers Association, which has been involved. So that should keep their focus right onto the game. They have a good set of batsmen. They have a good set of bowlers, high quality batsmen and bowlers. The good news from Australia's perspective is that they're not the favourites going into a tournament. It's England who has taken
yes.
all the attention. It's being played in England, so all the focus is on England. They are the bookmakers' favourites, although we know that that doesn't count for a lot. But England are playing like they are favourites as well. So the attention has been taken off a team like Australia, and they would probably relish going into their first game against New Zealand, not being the favourites in the tournament. Against New Zealand, they will be the favourites because New Zealand, I think, are somewhere missing someone like a Brendan McCullum. Martin Guptill is a good batsman at the top of the order, but then after Kane Williamson, I think the rest of the batting tapers away a little bit, and that is where they could face issues against a high quality bowling attack that Australia have. So I think Australia should edge out New Zealand in that game.
Yeah, New Zealand were a little below par against India, but we'll see what happens tomorrow there. And that's about it from us from outside the Oval, and we should be back very soon. We'll try our best to do that.
Yep, we will.
Bye-bye.